So this is going to be a long-term review of the ROG ALLY X, but instead of giving you technical details and specifications which you can actually look up online, I'll tell you about my experience with this device so far, so that you can make an informed decision if you're on the fence about getting one of these devices. Okay, so let's dive right in. So first of all, I want to talk about the experience of hand holding it and playing games on it directly. I personally prefer to play games in a dock mode on this small screen when I'm playing FPS games using mouse and keyboard, or like racing or FIFA on my TV, and I mount it there. So I rarely use the device as a handheld, and I'll give you the reasons why. First of all, the grips are not very, not very deep, and I don't have very big hands, but it's still like it's quite uncomfortable to hold. So if I want to play for longer duration of time, I tend to hold it so that it doesn't slip off. I cannot just hold it like this from the sides. I have to hold it slightly from the bottom so that it's resting on my hands, so that it doesn't fall off, because the grips are there's not much to hold on to on the grips here. So the grips are not deep. If you look at the Xbox controller, it's quite comfortable to hold because the grips are quite deep and easy to hold. So based on that information, if you have medium-sized hands like mine, or if you have bigger hands, then you should go for the Xbox ALLY X rather than this normal ALLY X, because the grips are not very comfortable to hold. I do play some games on it directly, like Tekken and Street Fighter, but that's about it. I don't play any other games on it directly. Sometimes I would play FIFA if I'm tired and I'm not I don't want to sit in front of the TV. I can play in my bed. Then I play FIFA on this device. But this brings me to the next point, the screen. The screen is a bit small. I wish it was like 8 inches or 8.8 like Legion Go. If you're playing like games like EAFC, or some other games where you see a big map, then spotting things on the screen is a bit difficult. So you have to like hold it very close or zoom in the game settings if you can. Despite being small, it's a decent screen. It has variable refresh rate as well. So even if your frame rate is jumping down to like 30s or even below 30s, sometimes you will not see stuttering. The changing of the frame rate is very smooth, so you do not see stuttering when you're playing games. So that's a good thing about the screen. So another problem that I've been facing with this device is when I connect my Xbox controller or any other controller to it, then sometimes it does connect to the device, but nothing works on the external controller. And it doesn't happen a lot, but it happens maybe like 5% to 10% of the time. But when it does happen, it's really annoying, because then I have to restart my ALLY X, and it's a little bit annoying. It's quite funny that it's been out for so long and they have not been able to fix this issue. I don't think it's a ROG ALLY X problem. I think it's a Windows problem. The handoff to the external controller from the internal one or the onboard one is a bit buggy sometimes, but it doesn't happen a lot. So yeah, that's something to keep in mind. Lastly, I do want to mention that you need to manage your expectations when getting this device, because while it will run all your games, not at the highest settings, obviously at low settings, but this device was made for games to be played on this device, on this screen. This is a 7-inch screen, so you have to lower the resolutions of your games to maybe 720p or maybe slightly higher, but not 1080p. I mean, above 1080p is just not possible. The games becomes really choppy and it becomes difficult for this device to run. But 1080p low settings will run, and if you drop them down to 720p, the games will still look very good on this small screen. So honestly, if you need a device that can do anything, and plus you can play games, just pick up this device, the ROG ALLY X. Honestly, I was really tempted to get the Legion Go because of that 8.8-inch bigger screen. But the reason why I stopped is because all the reviews that I watched on YouTube, everybody mentions that that device, because it has 16 gigabytes of RAM and the thermal management is not as good as this device, there's a lot of stutters in the games. Even the games that I play smoothly, that device, Legion Go, doesn't play them very smoothly. So I wanted a device that is like, that can run anything and I don't have to tinker too much. You know, I just play my games. And this device can do that. So yeah, just get this device and you should be really, really happy. This device doesn't know the meaning of hiccups. It runs every game, okay? And I've been editing videos on this thing. So the only thing is that I wish I had a bigger screen. Apart from that controller glitch where you can connect an external controller to this, it doesn't really recognize it and it conflicts with the onboard controller, and that's the only problem that I face with this device. But honestly, I actually played my games like Apex Legends and EAFC in dock mode. So I don't even have to use a controller. I just play using mouse and keyboard. I mean, the FPS games. And I forget that I'm actually playing on this device. And yeah, it gives me that desktop level experience. So yeah, I mean, it's a no-brainer, honestly. Just get this device and you should be good to go. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.